guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a new video. So we're actually working on the truck tonight, but I want to show you something on the STI to kind of compare and kind of explain a little bit as to what I'm doing. I'm actually installing two things on the truck tonight. The first thing being is an oil catch can. Now, if you guys follow me on the STI journey, you guys know that doing an AOS or an air oil separator is a very, very important thing to do on these cars. Basically, it takes any blow-by in the engine, puts it into this little container, heats it back up to proper operating temp, and then puts it back into the motor. That is what an air oil separator does. I have it back here, kind of hard to see, but it's by IAG. And if you guys are aware, putting that in on the STI is a lot of work. You got to remove a lot of things, run a lot of lines. It's not the funnest of jobs. Now, my truck is an EcoBoost. It's a 3.5 liter. It's turboed, so it's kind of the same situation here. Anything with a turbo can experience blow-by. Basically, what blow-by is oil that goes in places that it shouldn't. As simple as that, that is exactly what it is. It goes in your intake, can go into your intercooler, it can go into places that it should not go. So by installing a catch can or an AOS, depending on which application you're using, all it basically does is reroutes that bypass, reroutes the lines and dumps it into a little can and either puts it back into the motor or it just keeps it in the can that you empty. The one I got for the truck is a catch can. So basically it's just a little container that has two tubes coming off of it and it reroutes that line and it dumps all the bypass, the blow-by into that little container. So if we look over here, super nice little container. It's made out of built aluminum, I believe. So it's very, very nice. I'll open it up once I get a second hand. But as you can see, it has two lines running off of it. But as you can see, it has OEM-like connectors. All we're going to do is basically take off the engine cover, and then there's a little hose that goes from one connection to the other. And we're basically just going to reroute it with this catch can. So it's a really simple install. And as I mentioned, it has the OEM-like connectors. There's no weird connections or hose clamps or anything weird like that. It's super, super easy to install. It's literally probably gonna take 5 to 10 minutes, hopefully not more. We all know how modifications go. When you modify your truck or car, it usually takes a little bit longer than you plan on. But this is very, very straightforward. I'm gonna walk you through it. Another thing that I'm actually going to be installing is a LED bed brake light. Now the one on the truck currently is just the stock light. I upgraded everything with Morimoto. I still have the fog lights coming. But the one thing that I did not get that Morimoto did not make is the bed light in the back. So if we come around the back over here, I'll show you real quick. So that is the stock brake light, bed light, whatever you want to call it. It's, just the basic clear. It has the incandescent halogen bulbs in there and it's nothing to write home about. Really ugly. It's clear. It stands out a lot. So I wanted to find something that was smoked, and kind of just blended in and obviously updated with LEDs. So I picked this one up from JDM Toy. I'm actually running this brand on my STI on the third brake light in the back. It's been on for about 3 or 4 years, had 0 issues. So I decided to go with the same brand. You'll probably find this one everywhere. It's about 30 bucks or so. It's on Amazon. I'll link it below if you guys are interested. But basically everybody just gets this one and rebrands it as their own. They're all very, very similar, pretty much the same. But supposedly the actual bed lights are not that bright. They're a really white LED with an LED brake light. But I really don't care about the bed light. I don't use it too much and I don't really load stuff in the dark, so it's not a big problem. But I just wanted something LED and something smoked, so it blends in a little bit better with the black. This obviously just has a film on it, so I'll show you when I install it. But it's really simple. It's just a little plug that you just plug into the factory harness and screw it right into that factory spot. So really simple. So that is what we're gonna get knocked out tonight. I'm really looking forward to getting this stuff on the truck. Obviously cosmetic, and this is a much needed modification. My truck has 60,000 miles on it. If your truck is brand new or you have 100,000 miles on it, it doesn't matter. I highly suggest picking one of these up. It's going to increase the reliability of the motor. You do not want blow-by in your motor. It keeps your fuel good, it keeps your oil good. And getting one of these things, it's only like 130, 150 bucks. So it's really, really cheap. It's very, very worthwhile. So I cannot recommend it enough if you haven't picked one of these up yet. Like I said, whether your truck is new or used, it doesn't matter. Get one, put it on, and it's a peace of mind. So let's go ahead. Let's get the oil catch can installed first. And then after that, we'll back the truck up and get the bed light on. And then I actually got to go out and fill my wife's Telluride up with gas back there. It's super low. She ended up leaving it really empty, and I figured I would go out and fill the tank up while I have the time. So, all right, enough chatting and explaining. Let's get to installing the catch can. Obviously, if you have the 5.0 or you have the 2.7 liter, it's a very, very similar install, I believe. But to take the engine cover off, it's a little bit different, I believe. Some have screws, some don't. Like I said, mine is a 3.5 EcoBoost, so it just pops off. There's no screws or anything. So let's go ahead and pop it off. What you do is actually lift the front first, and then you kind of pull it towards you, and then it releases the clips in the back. And also, you need to remove the oil cap here first. All right, so where we are going to be working, you can actually see the tube right here. So it's this connection and then that connection. Basically, we are routing it the same, but we're routing it into a catch can and then back. The first thing that we're actually going to do is mount up the catch can over here, just so we have it settled and ready to go. And then when we're ready, we can pop off this hose and connect the new one. All right, so this is the bracket that we're going to be mounting. If you can kind of see, there's a hole right there, but there's no hole there. As you can see, the bracket has two holes. So with this one here, there's already a hole, but the one back here, there's no hole. We actually have to drill a small hole in the battery case here to accept the bolt right here, which is really simple. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that first. All right, so now we got the hole drilled. Just be really careful when you're drilling. You don't hit metal onto the positive terminal. I realized as I was doing that, but we are good. So the next thing we actually want to install to actually have the bolts hold onto that part, it comes with these little speed clips. So we're just gonna slip them on over the holes, and then we're gonna put the bracket on and then use the supplied M6 bolts, put them in there, and it'll hold down the bracket on that battery case there. So let's go ahead, let's put the little speed clips on, and then we can mount the bracket. All right, so we got the bracket mounted up. Now we're actually going to install the catch can onto the bracket. So if you can see on the catch can here, there's two little holes on the top, and there's also two holes on top of the bracket. Then we're going to use the supplied little screws and just mount the catch can right onto the bracket right there. Super, super simple. And then once we get that mounted and set up, then we can connect the hoses. All right, so now it's actually time to connect the lines. As you can see, there's a connection right there and then one right there. So we're simply just going to pull those little gray tabs, take this entire hose off, and then we can clip in the new line. So the one on the right goes to that one, the one on the left goes to that one. All right, so we got the factory line off. So it's kind of hard to tell, but if you look in there, there is oil definitely in there. Can't see in that one as much, but definitely oil in there, which is no good. You can kind of see the plug right there as well has some oil on it. What I'm gonna do is actually clean it off first, and then we can clip on the new lines. All right, so as you can see, very, very simple install. We are completely finished. I'm gonna unscrew the can just so you guys can see. But what I ended up doing is actually taking the line right here. I ran it under the intake tube and then right to that connection. And then the one on that side, just down and right there. They probably could have given you a little bit shorter lines, which you can probably shorten if you really want to. but I didn't want to go to that route. I think it looks fine, but the bracket is high enough to be able to reach down to the catch can so you can unscrew it and have access to that when you need it. So let me go ahead, unscrew the little can right here so you guys can see. So every, depending on how often you get your oil change, but I would say every oil change you want to check on this, empty it out. I'll probably get a check it every 2,000 to 3,000 miles or so just to make sure. Obviously, if it's filling up a little bit quicker than normal, you're going to want to empty it sooner. But there it is. There's a little can. You simply just unscrew it every couple thousand miles, dump it out, then put it right back on. It's got a nice knurled grip on the end of it, so you get some grip. You don't have to tighten this thing really tight or anything. But, you know, make sure it's nice and snug so it doesn't leak. But yeah, really, really simple, really straightforward. And it looks great. So I'm really happy with that. Obviously, I can't report on how good it is yet because I'm not going to know until, you know, a couple thousand miles. But I'm going to check up on it after a day or two, make sure everything is good. There's no leaks or anything, which I doubt there will be. If there is, I'll report back to you guys, obviously. But yeah, that is finished. So now that we are finished with that, so let's go ahead and move on to the brake light in the back, and then we can wrap this video up. All right, so we got the truck flipped around and we're going to replace that. So that is the bed light, brake light, whatever you want to call it. As you can see, it's clear and red and it stands out like crazy because I did all the Morimoto taillights, headlights. I did the platelets back here. I'm still waiting on the fog lights. So it's a very simple install. It's literally 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, and then 4. And then it's just a little plug that you need to fish out and then replug in the new one in, use the same screws, and then you're done. So normally it would be a much easier install if you didn't have this dumb bed cover. I really do not like this thing. It came with the truck. It's by ARE. It's nice to keep your stuff, you know, locked and secure, but I'm not a big fan of it. I don't like how it looks. And so I am selling it. So if anybody's interested, hit me up on Instagram. I'll definitely sell it to you for a good price. Obviously local only and black. This is for a 6.5 foot bed, but let me see if I can climb on top or somehow get on the side to be able to get to that bed light. Should be interesting. So let's go ahead, let's get that installed and we can finish this up. Guys, so very simple install. For anybody curious, the screws are T20. They're not just normal Phillips or flathead. They're a T20, I guess for security reasons, but looks way better, blends in so much more. Honestly, it just cleans up the whole back end. The LEDs are not that bright as they mentioned, but honestly, it's, you know, bright enough for me. The middle section is the brake light, as you guys just saw. So really nice. The only thing I wish that it did come with was some black hardware. Because otherwise you just use the stock silver hardware and it kind of, I don't want to say ruins the look, but it kind of stands out a little bit. But otherwise for 30 bucks, I can't complain. If it breaks, I can just get another one or find something a little bit better. Looks great, blends in so much better. It's not an ugly white and red just standing out on the truck. The truck is absolutely filthy, so I apologize, but it is my daily and it gets used and abused every single day. So that rounds up the truck mods for the night. Now I got to go out and actually go fill the Telluride up with gas, as I mentioned earlier, so we can wrap the video up then. But yeah, I'm really happy with the 2 little quick mods that we did. And there's plenty more to come for the truck. I know everybody keeps on mentioning all the chrome on the truck, the grill, the handles, the bumpers and everything, the wheels especially. Trust me, that is all going. It is going to be much nicer in about a month. Once everything calms down a little bit. Oh, also this as well, and the badges. Once everything calms down a little bit after the holidays, we'll get cracking on the more fun stuff, the stuff that you guys want to see. But that is all we got for now. I still have a few other things coming in for the truck as well, so stay tuned for those. Plenty of mods coming in for the STI as well, so if you're interested in that, stay tuned. All right, let's shuffle some cars around, get the truck back outside, and let's go get some gas in the Telluride. Figures 11 miles to empty. I cannot stand when it's that low. I personally never let it go that low, but my wife, being the superwoman that she is and handling the kids throughout the day, I can understand. So let's fill that up. Gas station's only a couple miles away, so we should be good. But geez, 11 miles. Oh, now 10. All right, I'm gonna talk because there's music playing. I don't want to get demonetized, but $3.33 a gallon. I'll let you guys know how much it takes if you guys are curious how much it takes to actually fill up a Telluride. It's not too bad, so I'll let you know in a little bit. Guys, so it was pretty much completely empty. I had 9 miles left on the tank, so it came out to 57.04 and 17 gallons, so not too bad. Probably have to fill up every probably 2 weeks or so in this, so not too bad. All right, guys, so we are done for the night. We got the catch can and the bed and brake light installed on the truck. I got a bunch more things coming for the truck, lots of truck content coming, so if you're interested in that, stay tuned. I got a few things coming for the STI as well, one of which is actually over there. I have a lot of boxes over here as well, so that's actually stuff I've already done, but I got to store that away. It was a fun couple mods installed on the truck tonight. Everything went really smoothly. Nothing took too long, which was really nice, which is a nice change. Usually any mod that you do on any type of vehicle usually ends up taking way longer than it ever should. But those two mods went very smoothly. Everything went perfect. Everything looks great. I'm really happy with it. And we got to fill up the Telluride with gas, so my wife will be happy tomorrow. But if you guys are interested in either of the catch can or the brake light, I'll leave links in the description below. But that is it for this one, guys. If you have any questions about the STI, the truck, or the Telluride, be sure to ask them below. But in the meantime, keep it clean, keep it simple, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.